All right, first and foremost, as always, I have to give all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Wa Rakakwadash. Peace, blessings, much respect to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, on down to the rest of the elders who rule well within Israel. Salutations to the hopeful elect throughout the four corners of this whole entire earth, no matter where, whom they may be or what they may look like, pushing out this purified truth. To the rest of the church who believe as well, you men who may not be teachers or prophets, you women, sons and daughters also, and the water to Yahweh Shai, because without him enduring and going to that cross for the nation of Israel and the nation of Israel alone, none of this would even be possible whatsoever. So I want to speak on more so for you men who are new to the faith or newer to the faith. You know, when you first come into the truth, those are very, very, very serious times, because those times should be spent trying to get grounded in this ministry, trying to get grounded in this faith. When I first came into this truth, I was dealing with job issues. I was having issues trying to find a decent job. And then on top of that, to find a job that I would even, want to wake up to 5 days out the week at least, So when I first came into the truth, these are all the things that I've salvaged up, but these were from my beginning. So when I first came into the truth, I was taking notes like crazy. Okay. All these are full of notes. There really ain't no empty spaces. All right. Now with these, 4 notebooks right here, I have 4 because each time my notes, I would upgrade them, so to speak. I would get better and better. So I have a whole lot, hold on. I don't know what this is. Okay, yeah, those are notes too. So I have a whole lot of notes here, and it's not to brag and boast, but for you new men coming in, and this is just from my beginnings. These aren't the notes that I take today. We're in a beautiful time. It's funny because a lot of the notes I take now, I actually take them on a tablet, on a Samsung tablet. All right. But this is labor, man. This is work. All right. And then these 4 notebooks here, a whole lot of labor went into these. Okay. A whole lot. These are my organized notes. All these are an accumulation of what's in these plus more. So throughout the years, I've still held on to these. For you men who come in, you may wonder, well, how do you teach? How do you go out there and you're pulling out scriptures and doing certain things? Well, for an example, in this book here, this is one of my beginnings. All right. Maybe you can screenshot it if you see it. But I wrote adultery, and I have a whole lot of scriptures going into adultery. So over time, throughout different notebooks, I would enhance my notes. So a lot of the notes would be maybe on one in adultery, there's like 30 different scriptures. Then I'll update it. My new update will be 45 scriptures, and it will just keep increasing. So, I've always held on to these, and all the notes that I take now are normally on a tablet. So I can't really show you those. But being in this truth, it does require labor. You have a lot of guys who twiddle their thumbs. They act like the Lord's just going to whisper in their ear and they're going to receive the gift of being a prophet or a teacher. But yet they might desire to be such, but they're not doing the work that it would take to do that, to do such a thing. Me, I've been in this truth by myself. I didn't have overseers. I didn't have brothers to study with. I wasn't going to classes like they used to do at One West. I did all this by myself. The Lord had me in a trance, man. It was so bad that my woman would even find notes just randomly in the kitchen, in the living room. I'd be in the bathroom, right, dropping a nuclear missile. I'll be writing notes on toilet paper. I was literally in a trance, but it was beautiful that I couldn't find a job in my beginnings, because the Lord allowed that time that I had, that free time, so to speak, to actually get grounded and rooted in this faith, because that's what he wanted for me. And Lord willing, he keeps me in this. All right. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 12. And further, by these, my son, be admonished of making many books. There is no end, and much study is weariness of the flesh. And I went through, which, I still go through certain days where it's just like, man, I'm just nonstop on it. But when I was first coming in, my first years in the truth, the Lord put me in a trance because, see, me going out there by myself, I had to be on point. So the Lord put a particular spirit on me to just write all these notes. They're coming apart now. But the Lord put it, and these are just what I've salvaged. I have a lot more throughout the years that I probably lost, but these are just notes that I've salvaged, right? That I could use as an example of the labor that it takes being in this ministry. All right. Like, I ain't joking with you, man. These notebooks, I put a lot of work and effort into these books throughout the years. And each time, I've gotten better and better. So looking at, just some of the effort you have to put into this ministry, certain men, they're just on the sideline. They just act like the Lord just thumped us on the head and said, hey, take this truth. It took a lot of effort. It took a lot of desire. It took a lot of willpower. It took a lot of mental fortitude, because being grounded in this ministry is highly important. And much study can be weary to this flesh, because this flesh is weak. All right. Let's go to the book of Hebrews, though. This is Hebrews chapter 10 and verse 7. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do the will, O power. So the Old and the New Testament are doctrine. You have a lot of people, they try to differentiate the two. There's no difference. OK, and in a lot of cases, the New Testament is just reiterating what was already said in what was called the Old Testament. OK, so at the end of the day, when you read these scriptures, don't just read them and then just go on about your day. Write notes down. When you're listening to videos, don't just depend on listening to videos, but you're not doing any reading on your own. You want to take that time out on your own to, read the scriptures, take notes, watch videos also, but don't just stick to watching videos as your way of growing in this ministry. OK. Then said I, lo, I come in the volume of the book. It is written of me to do thy will, O power. So Yahweh Shai was written in the volume of the book. The whole Bible is doctrine. So the whole Bible, you have to put that work in. You have to study. OK, let's go to Revelations chapter 1. This is Revelations chapter 1 and verse 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So yeah, we have to read. It's beautiful to just watch videos, but if you're watching these videos for entertainment, that's not a good look for you. If you're watching these videos just to laugh, just to get a kick out of it, just to say, hey, look at this guy is crazy, which is fine because the Lord put that spirit on you. But just know you are going to be judged. You are going to have a harsh end. You have to take this ministry serious. You have to take this truth serious because this is indeed life or death. Everyone on earth right now, they're either on this earth to be given a righteous reward or to be destroyed. OK, we are in that time right now. The majority of the prophets have been sent back. The majority of the scoffers and scorners have been sent back. A lot of the people going all the way back to the time of the days of Lot are back on earth. All the people going back to the days of Noah, a lot of them are back. So a lot of these key players on the righteous side and on the wicked side are back today to receive their judgment. So it's highly important that we soak up this information. We soak up the Bible as much as possible because it's through this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we are going to be stable. And no man can say, well, I can't learn no more because I know it all. Even knowing 100% of the scriptures, we're constantly growing. Certain men, because they've been in this truth for so long, they may be able to go into all the meat of the scriptures, all the deep breakdowns, just like that. Right. But at the end of the day, you can't. How can I put this? I kind of lost what I was going to say. You have a lot of men who can go into like deeper breakdowns, other men who cannot. You know, the portion that the Lord gives each and every one of us is the portion that he gives us. But nevertheless, we are to be studying. Now, if you're looking at another man and you're basing yourself off of what he's doing, well, he's bringing out the meat. Why can't I do that? Focus on just getting the milk. Focus on getting the basics. Focus on your salvation. Focus on being a better person. Focus on being a better brother. Don't focus on trying to be the deepest prophet, the deepest teacher. Because you see another man, he can go into those deep breakdowns just like that. OK, now seeing that much study is weary to our flesh. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is the one who actually gives us the increase to be able to study, to come up and to become, a teacher or a prophet, to go from being in the world to now you're on the streets teaching. You know, you were on the sideline watching other men teach. You were inspired. Next thing you know, you're teaching. OK, well, it comes with labor. It comes with effort. It comes with putting that work in. And don't judge your portion off of what another man can do. OK, but we have to read, and we're blessed when we read. Don't just watch these videos and you say, well, I've done my studying for today, which, you know, you don't. I would prefer that we read every day. But let's say you miss a day of reading, you know, at least watch a video or something. But don't spend like your whole entire week. You just watching videos, but you haven't really took any time to do any reading. You haven't read a chapter. You ain't read half of a chapter. You know, we have to put that work in on our own. That way Yahushai can sup with us. All right. You have to get personal with these scriptures, just like you would a woman, a beautiful woman. You know, she got some real big titties. She got a nice ass. She has all the features you like on her body. Right. You want to get intimate with her. Well, you have to treat this truth the same way. You have to wine and dine her, man. You got to spread them legs open sometimes. You know what I mean? Get up in there. All right. So let's go to Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 34, verse 16. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail. So you have to seek out of the book of the Lord and read. You have to put that work in on your own. Take them notes down, man. When you first come into this truth, if all you're doing is watching videos, you don't have no notepad. You're not putting notes in your phone. You're not doing anything. You're just kicking back, watching the videos, thinking your brain's just going to store all this information. You're not in the spirit. OK, I was so locked in the spirit first coming in early years because I had to be on point to go teach. It was literally like I was in a trance. My woman, she be like looking at me in awe, like, boy, you ain't playing. You know what I mean? But that's the spirit that the Lord put on me. That was from Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay, just like in these books, men put in a lot of effort, writing these things down. The smallest book being Obadiah, not taking away that it's a small book, but, writing words down, that takes work. You have a lot of men that are watching videos or not taking down no notes. All right. Seek ye out of the book of the Lord, speaking of the Bible, and read. No one of these shall fail, none shall want her mate. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is gathering the elect through the word. We are seeking out this Bible. We are reading because the words written in this Bible are faithful and true. They are not going to fail us. So it's highly important that we put that time and that effort in reading out this book. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. First Thessalonians chapter 4 and verse 11. And that ye study to be quiet and do your own business, and to work with your own hands as we command you. So you have to put in your own work. Watching videos and stuff is cool. Taking notes is part of studying, getting built up. But you have to put your own work in. You have to get in the scriptures, read, jot down notes, go into the history. Okay? It's beautiful knowing that, brothers who have labored can help link things up for you, make it easier for you. But that doesn't give you the right to just sit back, twiddle your thumbs and say, well, he got it. He got it taken care of. We as men, we have work to do. Okay. There's a lot of labor to be done. All right. Yeah. The kingdom of heaven is very, very close. That doesn't take away the work is not done. And that ye study to be quiet and to do your own business, not just watching videos, but taking down notes. You men coming into this faith, your first couple years in, you shouldn't just be kicking back watching videos, man. You ain't got no pen, no S Pen, no Apple Pen. You don't got your phone ready to punch in some words. What are you doing? Okay, even if you're not in the spirit of being a prophet or a teacher, you still need to be taking notes down. You still need to be learning. Because this word, this truth, this word is spirit and life. These words are spirit and life. Okay. And without them, we are good as dead. Okay. And to do your own business and to work with your own hands as we commanded you. And part of working with your own hands is picking up that pen, putting them notes on some paper. Or in a tablet, however you want to do it, an iPad, right? Your cell phone, something. A lot of you Israelites, you just sit back. I'm speaking to you men, you Israelite men. Okay, you sit back, you watch these videos, but you're not really growing, because when you write down certain scriptures, even if you don't write down every scripture, when you write down scriptures, it actually helps your brain to remember it better. And it also enhances your comprehension. Okay, studies even show that when someone reads to you compared to you reading along what they read to you, you actually pick up more information reading along. Like if you were to listen to an audiobook compared to listening and reading at the same time, you would actually gain more, adding that extra effort of reading at the same time. So when you're watching these videos, that extra effort of writing, putting those notes down helps you increase. Okay. Let's go to the Apocrypha. The book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach. chapter 24 and verse 34. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. So it's important that we study. We have to study the answer, not just for ourselves so that we may receive salvation, but for the elect out there so that they may learn as well, so that they may be inspired as well. Because I feel like part of my lot being in this truth is to help give hope. I feel like part of me being set up by Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua in this ministry is to help give our people hope. And that's why the Lord has, put me through a lot of loneliness. See, when Yahushua went to that cross, he went to that cross alone. He was hanging on that cross by himself in terms of what he went through, what he had to endure. He had to go through that. Okay, remember the apostles who later became, or the disciples who later became apostles, they fled. They fled. So when Yahushua got snatched up, he got snatched up and had to take that alone. So some of us brothers in this ministry, we might find ourselves teaching alone, but we're not alone. But we have to put in our own work. It's a good thing knowing that at least when you're alone, you know that you're not eating off of another man's labor, so to speak. You're doing your own homework. Okay? Period. Behold, that I have not labored for myself only, but for all them that seek wisdom. So when we do these videos, it comes through the labor that we put in. It ain't no joke. I didn't just wake up one day and I had the truth, or I took a pen, wrote down 20 notes and that was it. I'm constantly growing. I'm constantly learning. Whether a man came in last year or a man's been in this truth 30 plus years, I'm constantly learning from brothers, man. I'm constantly learning in this ministry. I'm constantly learning in life. Okay, and that's the beautiful thing about growth. See, one thing about having a head that's too big, no one wants to be around you because your damn head's in the way. At least with us, if people don't want to be around us, it's for righteousness' sake. Okay? So we labor not just for ourselves, but we labor for others also. So we have to put in that work. We have to put in that labor. We have to do our end. Okay? Let's stay in the Apocrypha, I believe. Okay, yeah. So this is Sirach, aka this is the book of Ecclesiasticus, aka the book of Sirach, chapter 39 and verse 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. So if you were to give your mind to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you'd be in the Bible seeking out the truth. You'd be taking notes, not just watching these videos and then saying, oh, see, I did my part for the day. I watched the video for an hour, or I watched a few men teach today. So I spent about 3-4 hours just watching men teach. But then throughout the week, you ain't read not one scripture on your own. Throughout the week, you haven't been brotherly. If you're around brothers, you carry yourself like a damn low life when you're out in public. You don't represent Yahweh Shai very well, but yeah, you watched videos and then you can comment and say, edifying video, but are you really living it? You have to live this, man. You have to be about this walk. You have to be about this life of righteousness. Okay. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High and is occupied in the meditation thereof, we got to meditate on these scriptures, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecy. So it's all about being occupied in these prophecies. We got to be occupied in these scriptures. Okay. Let's go to Sirach, also known as the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 38 and verse 24. The wisdom of a learned man cometh by opportunity of leisure, and he that hath little business shall become wise. So when I first came into this ministry, like I was saying, I was struggling with jobs, man. I was struggling financially, just dealing with a lot of hardships, car problems, just a whole lot, man. Family coming against me. There's things that I can't even remember. There's so many things you might go through. You don't even remember everything you go through, but the Lord's like, I got it stored up. I remember it, and it's not all in vain. So be it that we endure. The leisure that I had, I spent that time trying to get in to the scriptures, man, getting rooted in this thing, because if you're not rooted, when certain hell comes, when certain afflictions come, you're not going to make it. OK, that leisure time is an opportunity to get better. That leisure time is an opportunity to get rooted in this ministry. Let's go to Mark chapter 4 and verse 17. Verse 16. And these are they likewise which are sown on stony ground, who, when they have heard the word, immediately receive it with gladness and have no root in themselves. So we want to be rooted in this ministry. And so endure but for a time. Afterward, when affliction or persecution ariseth for the word's sake, immediately they are offended. So we want to be rooted in this ministry. We want to put our all into this. If you have a plan B or a C, you're not going to endure. If you already have an escape plan, if you have any other plan outside of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, you're not going to make it. I'm going to tell you that right now. We have to have all our eggs in one basket. We have to have literally our whole trust, all of our hope in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Okay? And you have to put your faith in knowing that there is no other option. Put your mind, put your meditation, put your thoughts on the kingdom of heaven, and everything else will fall behind. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and gather these notes and, show them one more time, just to show, men in this ministry, the Lord didn't just tap us on the ear one day and say, now you know the truth through the Holy Spirit. I'm gonna just whisper, and now you got all the truth. That's not how it works, man. It comes through labor. And like I said, these were from my beginnings when I first came into the truth. Okay. That's not even including the notes I'm taking today in my life. This truth is ongoing. It doesn't stop. I've written down so many notes. I've probably written down a Bible's worth amount of words, So I could see the spirit that some of the ancient prophets were in when they were just writing down the words that the Lord had told them to write down. So I'm going ahead and wrap this up. Lord willing, this was simple and it was edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So as always, I have to give all thanks and praises unto our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Wa Rakakwadash. Lord willing, this was simple and edifying. Until next time, Shalom.